We're the Lopez Community Land Trust, and we focus on almost anything that helps build sustainable community. And we started out primarily with affordable housing when housing went up on our island 189% in 1 year. But we also always kept our purposes large enough to do sustainable agriculture, foster rural economic development, and we have a very strong sustainable agriculture program, as well as we're getting into energy renewables. So we were the first organization ever in this country to bring in the mobile processing unit, and the mobile processing unit allows the farmers on our island who raise livestock to sell to me, to their neighbors, to the grocery store, and it's USDA approved rather than getting on a ferry and being transported to another state even for slaughter. So now there are 13 of these mobile processing units in North America, and we get calls from Africa and from South America on how to get a mobile processing unit. And with a lot of things that we do, we kind of spin them off. So now to use this mobile processing unit, a cooperative of farmers got together, and we're in the process of passing that mobile processing unit off to the cooperative itself because they're expanding. And then every year we have a food charrette in February. We're getting ready to have a food charrette. And a food charrette is when you bring in constituencies and around a purpose. It's often used in architecture, but we're doing it around food. So we bring in grocers and farmers and restaurateurs and people like me who just love food and talk about how we can get better access to local food. And then out of that, projects are spun. And from that, the last one, we started a grain CSA, and we have 40 subscribers who are getting grain, wheat berries locally. And we realized that people got the wheat berries, but they didn't have any way to grind it. So we got a very small community mill so they can grind their wheat berries. And now people are starting to grind corn, dried corn for cornmeal. And so we have actually now a source of local flour, and it not only tastes great, but they say it's very nourishing for you. And so that was spun off. Last year, another group spun off, which was trying to make sure that Lopez remains free of GMOs, genetically modified organisms, the seeds. And then as we were exploring grain, we realized that because there's this concerted effort to control the food supply by restricting who gets to have seed, rather than farmers having the right to save their own seed, things are getting patented, certain diversity is getting destroyed. They're putting terminator genes in seed, that it's really crucially important that we maintain diversity and seed that's appropriate to the island. And so we're just starting a seed library, and we just hired a seed librarian for us to save seed. And then every year we also have a harvest dinner where we focus on local foods and get together and celebrate that. We bring in big speakers. We brought in Percy Schmeiser, who took on Monsanto, and he came and spoke with us. We were co-founders of the Farm to School program, which was really taking off. Now there are 4 high tunnel hoop houses on the school grounds. They actually hire a curriculum assistant in the school for grades 1 through 5. There's a high school class as well, and so we found out that kids, if they cook food or grow food at the school, they tend to eat it. And I can go on with lots of stories about that, but this particular photo was taken in a class where it was a literacy class, and they were reading this book, The Giant Turnip, or something like that. And at 9 o'clock, they brought in the mobile kitchen cart and cooked turnips, and they were all eaten by 9 o'clock in the morning. And another class learned to make hummus in the elementary school, and they went to the noon cafeteria, and they were offering hummus or turkey in pita bread. All the elementary kids took the hummus, and the high school kids took the turkey because they didn't have any relationship to the hummus. And also spun off from the kind of farm to school program, we didn't do it, but the community did the evening meals at the school, so about 4 times a year. 200 people will come, and it focuses on local food, and it's very inexpensive, and celebrating that. And the group was formed that's now taking control of that, called the Locavores, which specialize in slow food, and so they've taken on that particular program. And then we just do some community outreach. We hosted the tribal canoe journey that came to Lopez. The Westview Apartments, which is a primarily elderly women who wanted to garden, needed raised bed gardens, so we provided the labor for that. We do an internship program in sustainable agriculture, so we place interns out to gain teaching and hands-on learning experience in local farms. And I would say that one of our biggest goals is we'd really like to get a thresher still that more of the community could use than we have now. And also, for the first time, we have a peer group of young people who want to farm, and we haven't figured out a way for them to get to the land to farm. So figuring out long-term leases, educating landowners on the value of having their land farmed is a goal we'd like to head towards. So that's what we're about.